in our formative years when we're kids, there's things that we go through that teach us that it's not safe to dream. It's not safe to have a dream, let alone to go after it, to do things. I remember being a kid and loving to sing and like showing like my mom and my dad like singing a song for them or doing something, and they would kind of laugh it off. Like it didn't seem like it was a big deal, but like, oh, don't quit your day job, or they would do things that would stifle me and teach me like it's not safe to express myself. It's not safe to dream. It's not safe to be creative. Stay in the box, stay in the paradigm, conform, because being accepted meant being loved, and if I needed to sacrifice everything that I stood for and that I loved as a kid, and that's what I needed to do to survive. So it brought me from this creative place of seeing the world through eyes of wonder, which is how most kids view the world. They view it and they're like, oh my gosh, look at the colors, look at this. They're exploring everything, and then in time, they step back and they learn it's not safe. I'm not safe. Conform until our disposition is something like this, and everything's shy and it's timid, and we lose that. So for me, it's the process of learning that I'm okay in my own skin, that I'm okay to be me, and that's okay. So we have to identify for each of us, what was that? Was it the bullying? Did we witness abuse? Did we experience abuse? Did we experience sexual abuse? Were we neglected? Were we taught, were we criticized? All those things is data, and it's indicators for us to say like, okay, I need to look and shine the light on these things, not to bring shame, but to be able to get to a place where we can move past it, so we can actually dream again. So some of the main things is when you're told you weren't good enough, like the moment that a teacher, a parent, or a coach dismissed you, when the report card became your identity, when the dream that you shared got laughed at or ignored. They seem like trivial things, but as a kid, those are huge, and they teach us it's not safe, I'm not safe, conform. It's not safe, I'm not, like everything we go through, if we're not encouraged to be creative and that it's okay to make mistakes, it's gonna shut us down, and it's gonna shut down that creativity. So that's a big thing. When was the first time you were told you weren't good enough? Some of us even have those memories, we can lock in on those memories, and those are good indicators. Those are good data on where we can shine the light to explore more. And then we have the pressure to be practical, being told to grow up, be realistic. How many times are you told that as 5, 6, 7, 8 years old? We shouldn't be told be realistic and to grow up. My dad used to say, act your age, not your shoe size. And I'm like, different things like that, which they seem simple and they seem silly. But when you compound those things over time, over and over and over again, what's the theme? Well, the theme is you're not safe, you're not loved unless you conform, unless you do everything exactly the way you're told, and which means you can't be creative. You can't dress the way you want to dress because it doesn't match, or you can't do certain things. So for me, those are big things, the shift from imagination to survival mode. How many kids, especially depending on the level of trauma or abuse or neglect is harder to indicate and define, because abuse is easy. It's okay, that happened, that was wrong. But neglect is you might have never had a bunch of things you should have had as a kid. Feeling safe, physical touch, healthy physical touch. All of those things, they can shift you from being creative into survival mode. And that's when creativity becomes a threat to survival. So if your creativity, your expression of yourself becomes a threat to survive, that's an issue. So you're going to shut down. Then you have comparison. Comparison that it really just crushes your confidence as a kid. You're watching others get praised while you get overlooked, feeling behind, late, or less than at a young age, internalizing the success is for other people. So all these things that you learn, you see other people, you're well, that's good for them, that's possible for them, but not for me. It's all these things, it's the same things. They reiterate and they teach us the same thing. And then we have the pain of performing to be loved. I think this is a big one. Believing that you have to achieve to matter. So how many kids just do something, they're not even enjoying it, but they do it because they're going to get the love and the praise and the affirmation from their parents. What does that teach them again? I can't be true to myself. I need to conform. Maybe sometimes parents try to live vicariously through their kids. They were the star on the sports team, so they push their kids to be successful and to be in sports. And so what do? They sacrifice their dreams. We sacrifice creativity To make someone happy, it's like, hey, I want you to love me. I want you to love me. I need you to love me. Come here. But it's like, so what do I have to do as a kid? Kids shouldn't have to do this, but what do they have to do? They have to sacrifice that. They sacrifice their love, their creativity, what they're passionate about. Why? Because they want what every kid should have no matter what, and that's love and acceptance. And when you have to sacrifice your person as a kid, at a young age, to be loved and accepted by a caregiver, oh my gosh. Who the hell cares about dreaming? I want to live. I want to be loved. I want to be accepted. Dreaming, all that stuff becomes secondary. It becomes background noise for what you need, what every kid needs, what every person needs, which is that love, that acceptance, that permission to be themselves. And most of us never had that, or a lot of us never had that. And if we did, it got jaded along the way. Put yourself in that place. Like, what was it? What happened to you? And again, you don't have to share this with anybody, or if you have a counselor, you can share it with them. But what is it? Where did you learn it's not safe anymore? Because this is the thing that you really need to learn. And I wrote it here in my notes. Giving yourself permission to dream again is to realize that you were never the problem. You were never the problem. You were 3, you were 4, you were 5, you were 6, you were 8, you were 10, you were 12, whatever age you were, like, you weren't the problem. And I think if you can realize you weren't the problem and then identify what are these things, how can I bring light on it to have healing, to have release from it, that's going to give you permission to say, okay, nothing was wrong with me. Like, unfortunately, these things happen, but I'm okay. I'm good. Like, I do this thing. I put my hand on my heart like, I'm good. You're good, Josh. And then that gives you permission to, like, be able to dream in the possibility of moving forward. So everything that happens to us in life, and like identifying all these things, really bring us to another place where we can begin to pursue our purpose and move from a place of confusion to clarity. Like, how can I make sense of all these things and now begin to pursue my purpose, the things that really make me feel alive?